What's going on, guys? Cheaptard Bill here, and welcome back to another edition of the Cheaptard vlog. Now, today, there are a few things that have been going on. First off, today, Carolina and Seattle are playing for the divisional round of the NFC playoffs, because I don't care about the AFC unless it's to see the Patriots crash and burn, because fuck those guys, despite their name. I have a few funny quotes that I just recently randomly remembered this morning. First off, if you like pineapples on your pizza, you are weak. Your bloodline is weak, and you will not survive the winter. That was said by some random girl in a yearbook picture that was probably photoshopped because it just looks the best next to a picture of an unassuming high school girl for saying that you will not survive the winter. But I like that because ever since I cut pineapples from my pizzas, I've survived the winter. It's correlation, man. I mean, that's all it is. So that's that. And also another quote: "Do or do not. There is no try. You either do it or you don't. There's no such thing as trying." And I've been trying to teach my kids that. And yes, I do say kids because you guys all know Cheaptard girl, the little one, and the other ones. I am trying to get them better at video games so that they can play local multiplayer with me, because that'd be fucking great. Bond more with the kids that way. So anyway, there's that. And yeah, I've been trying. Kind of like Yoda saying that fear is the path of the dark side, but he fears that he fears that there's more than one Sith, right? Fucking asshole. Fucking biased asshole. That's why Darth Vader turned into Darth Vader, you fucking green bitch. Anyway, to the questions this week. And I have two, because I am going to count anything with a question mark on my last week's vlog as being a question. So today's questions come from Junosaur and Action Ration, or B.A. Thompsonator, as he likes to be called. So, first off with Action Ration. He first compliments that that Action Ration is the gaming channel and not the dog food, which is a very good analysis, because I got confused. I'm like, hey, it's not a dog food brand. But anyway, here's his question. You were in the Navy, dude? My dad was in the Army. We were stationed at Yongsan back in 2001 during the attack. Pretty crazy. And yes, that was actually a pretty crazy attack. And yes, I was in the Navy for about 6 years, from 2006 to 2012. Then I got fat. And yes, that is a legitimate way to get kicked out of the military, is if you're fat. But that's that. I'm not going to go further on into that story. But anyway, yes, I was in the Navy. I went on to one ship, never been deployed my entire career, but that's because my career was pretty short to begin with. Now, to Junosaur. I love that he clarified that it could have been a sexual predator, but in that case, I would have had Chris Hansen as my weapon in that case, because every sexual predator carries a gun and just shoots themselves at the side of Chris Hansen. Anyway, he asks, you keep mentioning your wife, and we've seen Cheaptard girl, so when are we going to see Cheaptard wife? If she refuses to be on camera or whatever, then at least tell us how you met and how long you've been married, and all those good questions. Well, when it comes down to how long we've been married since Halloween of 2015, and that was our legal marriage ceremony, because it was a complicated roller coaster after another. We actually met when we were both legally separated from our respective first spouses. And I use respective very, very loosely, because I don't know how I could respect either one of those people. But I'm legally obligated to not respect my first wife. Anyway, we actually met at a bar, and we were both off of huge rice bells. And we didn't even ONS that night because she got a call that her kid had. Yeah, she also has 2 kids. I've got 3 kids total. 2 of them I'm taking care of with her that were from her previous marriage, and the one we have together. And I have no other kids other than Cheaptard girl. And okay, so that's the side cut. Anyway, she got a text from her babysitter saying that her oldest one cut her hair and her younger sister's hair. So she had to go home on that. And if it weren't for that act, we wouldn't be together over the times, because I was living in the barracks on the base I was stationed at the time. I was going to school for cross raiding, and we just talked. We hung out a lot, saw movies, whatever you do when you date. I don't know. And then eventually I sneak moved in with her. I don't even know how it happened. I just started slowly sneaking all my shit into her house one day, and then finally we were just living together. And then and this is like 5 years ago, and then she got pregnant with Cheaptard Girl on my birthday of 2010. Cheaptard Girl was born in 2011. We had Cheaptard Girl, we still weren't getting married, even though she was already divorced. I had the harder time tracking down my ex-wife than she had to track down her ex-husband. And anyway, so we finally tracked down my ex-wife last March, and then we finally got the papers signed. There were no issues at all for that divorce, so we got the papers signed, and then we just waited, and then we were just thinking about what day would be great to get married. And then about August, we thought, fuck it, Halloween. And so we got married on Halloween by a man dressed as a pirate who rode in on a motorcycle. And honestly, that was the coolest wedding. Shortest wedding of all time, because the guy just said, she got to him before I did. So he said, these are the lines he said, and I quote, "You've both done this before. Do you?" "Yes." "Do you?" "Yes." "All right, kiss the bride." And we just hung out for about 20 minutes until it was time to go to take the kids trick or treating, and that was it. That was our wedding ceremony. It was about a 2-minute ceremony, 20-minute reception, bing bang boom, out trick or treating, and that is the history of Cheaptard Bill and Cheaptard Wife in a nutshell. So I hope you enjoyed that story. Anyway, that is this week's vlog. If you have any questions, again, leave them in the comments below. I read, I respond, and I do everything I can to interact with you guys, because, I just recently got this compliment right here. It's just talking about my voice. My voice would be very good for top 10s and reviews, and this voice is actually a product of smoking and singing death metal for about 2 years' time. Smoking for 4 years' time, and I quit after Cheaptard Girl was born, and I was off the ship. I just full turkey quit off the ship. But that's that. So thank you guys so much for watching, and as always, leave your questions below, and I will answer them on next week's vlog. See you next time.